What we are looking now at is the road safety measures. We look at safety and security. We look at incidents and accidents. We look at safety, ship security plan, and then as in the maritime law, and then we are looking at the road safety. When we talk about road safety, so many things come into play. For you to be able to drive, you cannot just get up and then put a car on the road and start driving. We have the legal regime on safety in Ghana that principally can be located in the Drivers and Vehicular Licensing Authority Act, Act 675, which spells out some safety requirements for drivers and road transport operators. Now, let me call your attention to this. If, for instance, you are traveling for an excursion to Bunkpurugu or to Paga to see the crocodile pond, you have all set off the whole class, those from Tema, just as you visited the Akosombo last time. And you took an OA bus, the long one, you were all going. The driver who was driving happened to be, excuse my language, a one-legged person. Somebody who has one of the legs is amputated, or is somebody who is having a disability. Then we come to think of the fact that the driver is not licensed. He doesn't know how to drive. And he's even not of 18 years, not matured. And he has not got a license to drive, and he has got epilepsy. Can you think of this? The accident or the incidents that will occur after the accident? For instance, when you go to Kumasi and you are at the Swami Magazine roundabout, when you are about to take off to go up north, because we are going to Paga, you have to go through Tamani. From Kumasi, you go to Kintampo, Kintampo to Tamani. When you are setting off, probably to go and pass to Offenso to Kintampo, then the driver was attacked by epilepsy. What will happen? Can you answer me? There will be an accident, and then can you imagine the number of people who will lose their life? So the law says that there are certain things that people must not do, and the rest that must be done to avoid accidents or incidences, so that our roads will be safer. Just as on the sea, the air, the road must also be safer, the train routes must also be safer. Every now and then, measures must be put in place. If you don't have a license, you cannot drive according to this. No person shall drive a motor vehicle on the road unless he holds a license for the purpose issued under Section 7 of this ordinance. Then the person must not be suffering from any disease or disability which will be likely to cause the driving by him of the class of motor vehicle which he is learning to drive to be a source of danger to the public. You see, then he must be 18 years of age or over, or in the case of a person learning to drive a commercial vehicle, 20 years of age or over will drive a motor vehicle. Are you with me? The motor vehicle displays conspicuously on the front and rear some plate or disc as may be prescribed, and except where the vehicle which he is driving is a motorcycle or one-seated vehicle which he is accompanying for instruction by a sitting by and sitting next to a licensed driver. So this one has been substituted by the Road Traffic Act 1959, number 21 of 1959. A person authorized to drive a motor vehicle under the provisions of this proviso to subsection 1 of this section shall not carry in such vehicle any person than the person instructing him to drive. So if you are learning to drive, you cannot carry people unless the one instructing you to drive. There are a whole lot of how to control the vehicle traffic on bridges. Sometimes when you are about to drive on a bridge, some of the bridges are weak. Some have got limitations as far as their spacing is concerned. So when one vehicle is coming, another has to stop. Those holding ones that are built of metal. There are others too, they cannot carry a certain weight. So when there's damage to the bridges, they have to divert traffic. Like people who normally use dangerous substances to fish in the river water around the bridges of Adomi and Sugakope, where they have cool areas that the big fishes normally hibernate. They'll go in there, throw the dynamite or something, and it will shake the very existence of the base of the bridge. While they try to catch their fish, they are weakening the bridge. So that's the work of dangerous substances. And at the same time, they cause accident and incidences will occur. The fishes will die, sometimes human beings following the fish to die, and all sorts of things. In the same vein, vehicular traffic is also impeded because the weight that the vehicle can carry can no more be carried by that. So they have to do a lot of diversion. And sometimes when a bridge is being constructed, they have to put a bridge construction sign to show that they have to divert traffic through another place. So treat about these things. Reckless or dangerous driving. What happens? What will happen when you recklessly drive at a speed or in a manner which is dangerous to the public because of the nature, condition, and use of the road and the amount of traffic, which is usually or might unreasonably be expected to be on the road at the time, commits an offense and is liable to summary conviction. So where death occurs to a fine not less than 5 million. So therefore it means that when you kill anybody in an accident, you are likely to pay a fine not less than 5 million. So when you kill 10 people, 50 million, you are gone. That is what the law says. You'll be set free. But these laws, I'm sure they are reviewing them. They will not stand the test of time. And but this is what is in the statute books now. Mm. Where death occurs to a fine of not less than 5 million and not exceeding 10 million, or to imprisonment for a term of not less than 1 year and not exceeding 5 years or to both. So the law is in the bosom of the judge. He can decide to give you a custodial sentence, or he can decide to keep you away and you pay a fine. So read over careless driving. What is it? Punishment of persons driving motor vehicle when under the influence of alcohol or drugs. What does that mean? You'll be convicted when you are caught. That's why the police will be in the corner, and when you are coming, they'll show something to your car and tell you that you are on speed. Duty in case of accident, what happens? In the case you have to stop your vehicle take the person to the hospital, make sure you report to the police and all that. But what happens? People will knock and they'll run away. Mostly because in the areas where these things happen, the people themselves will also not have patience. Come to think of Teshin, come to think of Nima or these densely populated areas like Choco, they will go and bath at one side of the road, and then with a towel around their waist, they are crossing to go and smear pomade at the other house. And they will even be walking leisurely across the street when vehicles are coming. When these things happen, if you are not careful, you stop, they'll just pounce on you and that will be your end. You kill somebody, so they'll kill you. So normally it is not advisable in certain areas. When you are driving, drive carefully, slowly at the speed limit, which is supposed to even go for the town. Sometimes even below the speed limit for town is better to save yourselves. When you leave, then you can go. It's not a motorway. We are driving in town, so take safety and precautionary measures. So, driver insurance card to be displayed. There are certain people who would have the insurance card or roadworthy certificates on their vehicles, but they will not display them. They said it is destroying or is dirtying the windscreen, the windshield, which is wrong. So please try and make sure that these things are properly taken care of, so that you avoid issues. Because when it comes to the road, if you are not careful, you not gauge it properly, you will run into an accident, and this will bring a lot of incidences. What we have next is the in-house policy